Good morning, students of class 9. Today we shall understand introduction to object-oriented programming concepts. In this first unit, we shall understand principles of object-oriented programming system. The first introduction: computer is an electronic device that accepts instruction in a specific language, and that specific language is 0 and 1. That you know very well. And we cannot understand 0 and 1 binary number system easily. That's why we have developed many types of programming languages. So here programming computer language has been divided into two categories. First is computer low level language and second is high level language. First, low level language is machine language, that is 0 and 1, and this is machine understandable language, and this language is very difficult to understand and memorize, and writing program in low level language is difficult. So that is why we have used and now machine language. In a low level language we have machine level language, and machine level language is computer language 0 and 1. And second is the computer understand the machine code easily, 0 and 1, because computer architecture is designed to understand machine language only, 0 and 1 only. Our CPU understand 0 and 1 and calculate very quickly, but computer does not understand English. That is why we use other language like assembly language and high level language. So we shall understand about assembly language. What is assembly language? Is the instruction are coded in terms of mnemonics. Mnemonics means abbreviation of word. For example, you can see here LDA. LDA, enter the value of A. It means enter the value of A. We have to write, instead of enter the value of A, LDA means enter the value in A. So 3B, and LD is abbreviation, and add means A comma B means add the value of A and B. So add is addition. So these are the short form of word, and these types of mnemonics we write in assembly language programming. And this is not a binary number system. That is why computer does not understand assembly language directly, and computer use a language translators, and that language translator is assembler. Assembler, what it does, it translates assembly language program into machine code and vice versa. And later some advantage of assembly language are given here. It is easy to write the instructions as compared to the machine level language, because we write abbreviations of words in the assembly language. Second, the error detection and correction is also comparatively easy, means error can be detected and we can correct error very simply. The code can easily be modified, and whenever we like we can change the code of programming language. Limitation of assembly language. Some limitations are, it is also a machine dependent language. It means machine dependent means once one program is written in assembly language cannot run in another computer. That is why it is machine dependent. The users need to remember all the mnemonics, and if you want to write an assembly language programming, then you have to memorize all the mnemonics means if you want to addition, then you have to remember ADD for mnemonics of addition. So like this, this is also one of the limitation of assembly language programming. The user need to remember all the mnemonics. A translator is required to convert the instruction into machine code, and another disadvantage is we need an assembler to translate assembly language programming. Next, high level language. High level language convert the overcome the disadvantage of low level language. So many disadvantages are there in low level language. That's why we have developed high level language. In the high level language is called HLL, high level language. And high level language like C, C++, Java, Python, Smalltalk, these are the high level languages that is easy to write, and a computer use translator to translate high level language into machine code and vice versa. So after invention of high level language, it is easy to write programming for the programmer, and basic C, C++, Java are the programming languages. Advantage of high level language: it is a machine independent language. The best advantage is machine independent, means once you have written program in any machine, that you can run on any machine, any operating system. The instruction can be written using English word or phrase. We can write English language, human, which is human language, and computer will use compiler and interpreter to translate English language into computer understandable form, binary form. It is easier to understand and develop the program logic. We can develop the program logic because we write it program in English. The error detection and correction is easier in programming. Compiler and interpreter, both compiler correct errors and detect errors very easily. Some disadvantages are it requires a translator to convert the source code that I have told you. Translators are compiler and interpreter in high level language. The machine code of high level instruction might be less efficient than the machine code generated from the assembly level instruction. And next, one of the major disadvantages of high level language is that the machine cannot understand this language directly. It means CPU does not respond this language directly. Computer uses a translator, either compiler or interpreter, to translate high level language to human understandable form. Next, we shall understand what is compiler and interpreter. So compiler translate whole program at a time and check errors and remove errors. It is faster but less error detection correction is not very accurate, but interpreter checks program line by line, and interpreter checks program line by line and give the accurate result. So compiler is a translator which translates high level language into machine language. Okay, so student, a compiler is designed exclusively to convert a program written in a specific high level language. So every program there is a compiler or interpreter are there. Like for Fortran, a separate compiler we use, and for C, C++, C, another compiler we use. Same as, so interpreter and compilers are two language translators. So this is very important difference between a compiler and an interpreter. So compiler and interpreter, so understand this, it converts the whole source program into the object program at once, at a time. Compiler translate complete program at a time, but interpreter convert the source program into the object program one line at a time. That is why it is more accurate than a compiler. Number 2, it displays the error for the whole program together after the compilation. It after error detection is display error after whole program compilation, but interpreter it display error one line at a time and only after debugging error the control goes to the next line. Types of high level language. So high level language we have like structure oriented language, procedure oriented language, and object oriented language. Structure oriented language uses a modular approach to improve the clarity, quality, and the development time of programming steps. ALGOL and Pascal are example of structure oriented programming language. So ALGOL and Pascal are these two programming languages are structure oriented programming. And procedure oriented programming languages, it means main emphasis we put on function. Step by step we write program in procedure oriented programming system. Procedure oriented approach allows the user to develop their logic by using a number of functions that would enhance the program's productivity. So Fortran, BASIC, COBOL, BASIC's full form you know very well, you have already studied in class 8 beginners all purpose symbolic instruction code, and COBOL commercial business oriented language, Fortran formula transfer language, and C is pure procedure oriented programming language known as procedure oriented programming language. And this is the main program, and function 1, function 2. So procedure oriented programming is mainly depend upon functions. Step by step, top down approach, we use top down approach in procedure oriented programming system. Procedure oriented programming, POP, basically consists of a list of instructions of the computer to follow and these are the organized into group known as functions. So functions is important in object oriented programming. Okay, so we have studied structured oriented programming and procedure oriented programming, and we have inherited some features of procedure oriented programming like C's. Some features are inherited in object oriented programming in C++ and Java. So now we will understand characteristics of procedure oriented programming. Emphasis is on function. I have told you main focus we put on function is main thing. Functions are a global data value can keep floating from one function to another. We can move data. It uses top down approach for programming, means top to bottom approach it uses. Limitations of procedure oriented programming: as data values are global to all the functions, you may require to make necessary change in all the functions. Okay, if in case of any change in the data value, if you are changing, that whole function you have to change. It is not suitable to solve complex problem in real situation. Procedure oriented programming is not capable to solve the real world problem. Now object oriented programming, that I have told you, object oriented programming system basically consists of an organized group of instruction known as function. Okay. Normally flow chart are used to organize the instruction and guide of movement of control function. Most of the functions share global data in procedure oriented programming. These things we have studied already. In procedure oriented programming, main part is function, and it follow the top down approach, and it share the global data. But in object oriented programming, an approach to standardize the programs by creating partitioned memory area for both data and functions. And here main focus we put on object, main focus emphasis we give on object instead of function. This is very notable point. In object oriented programming, main focus we give on data, object, data, and in procedure oriented we give main emphasis on function. So data is important in object oriented programming. Okay, so what is data? Data may be anything: book, ATM machine. These are the data, and these are also called object. So next, feature of object oriented programming. Some of the features of object oriented programming: it gives importance of the data item rather than function. We give importance to the data. It makes the complete program simpler by dividing it into a number of objects. We can we can make our program in a small part, and we can divide it into a small part and in a small object, and then it is very easy to write the right program. The object can be used as bridge to have data flow from the function to another one function to another function. We can move data or object. The concept of data hiding enhance the security in program. Data hiding principle I will teach you later. Data hiding means to hide the data that we can do with the help of encapsulation. That I will teach you later. It is highly beneficial to solve complex problem. In real world problem, complex problem, we can solve using object oriented programming. So difference between procedure oriented, and this is also very important. Okay, procedure oriented programming and object oriented programming. 1 marks questions may be come from this. So first, procedure oriented programming, the emphasis is put on the function rather than the data. We give main emphasis on function in procedure oriented programming, not on data. But in object oriented, we give emphasis on data, not on function. It allows data to flow freely throughout the program. In procedure oriented, we can data can be flow throughout the program, but in object oriented, it is data is restricted to be used in a specific program area. Okay, we cannot jump one function to another function easily. It follows top down programming approach. Procedure oriented programming follow top down programming approach, but object oriented follows bottom top programming approach. Okay, object, all these things, keywords related in object oriented programming are object, you know very well. Real world entities is called an object, like fan, book. Okay, these are the real world entities. Name of a person, name of a river, these are the real world entities, and that is called an object. Real world objects, real world object uses data type real day-to-day life. So each real world object contain characteristics and behavior. So characteristics and behavior, like characteristics of a mobile, for example, characteristics, its internal circuit works, memory works, processing speed. These are the characteristics, and behaviors are operating mobile and mobile using mobile camera, dialing to other person. These are the behaviors. So internal mechanism is called characteristics, and outer operating works are called behaviors. Now software objects may be defined as an object that is created while writing a Java program. When we write a Java programming, we create software object. Class is a blueprint template by which type of objects, we keep types of object in class. That is why class is called an object factory. Class possesses some attribute and common behaviors. Okay, so more clearly we will understand class in the next later chapter. Basic principles of object oriented programming system. So this I will upload in the next video very soon. Okay, so understand this, and you keep open your book when you are listening this video. When you are watching, listening, understanding this video, you keep open your book. Thank you very much.